No matter where you're located in the world, being able to accept and process payments is a huge part of scaling and growing a business. I help many people from all over the world open up US companies and US businesses and US payment processing so that they can run their e commerce stores and sell millions of dollars of products a month, or open their service businesses and send out an invoice and get paid by a credit card instantly. The problem is that there's one very popular solution, and that solution is closing accounts constantly. So Stripe, I'm sure you've heard of, is a payment processor that people use to send out invoices and get credit card payments. I want to explain in this video the difference between Stripe accounts and other payment processors and give you guys some different options so that you can continue processing payments if your Stripe account was closed or if you have funds on hold, and the different pros and cons of both using Stripe and using other options where you're underwritten by the bank directly. So I'm going to go over what Stripe is, what these options are, and the differences between them. And if you haven't seen me before, you don't know my channel, my name is James Baker, and I'm a CPA based in the US, international tax consultant, and I help people from all over the world open up US companies that, if the work is done outside the US, are not subject to US income taxes. This is a great opportunity to have a US company, US payment processing, and pay no income taxes in the US. So I help many clients set that up and get through all the administrative stuff. But right now, in the last couple weeks, I've had many clients reach out to me because their Stripe accounts were getting closed. Stripe is what's known as a payment facilitator. This company allows you to sign up very quickly, open an account very quickly, and they don't really verify anything about your business. They just kind of let you get started. And then with automation and AI, they kind of see on the first couple transactions if they like you or not, and then they either approve the account right away and let you keep going, or they close your account within a couple of transactions. If they keep you going with a couple of transactions, they'll let you keep going. And at any point, if you have one chargeback, if you have one issue, they can close your account. They could also hold your funds. I've had funds held in Stripe for 6 months. I've had funds held in Stripe for like 9 months before. I do international business, so I have clients paying me from all over the world, and unfortunately, it's deemed as high risk. So the thing is, with Stripe, with a payment facilitator, they're not really analyzing the risk of your business initially. They're letting you start, and then once you get started, you start getting some clients, you get recurring billing, you start to get some traction, you start to scale your ads. All of a sudden, it comes out of nowhere, and they just decide to close your account, and you're basically out of luck. There's no disputing with them. There's no talking to them and making them change their mind because of how the payment facilitator model works. So basically, with Stripe, there's one master merchant, and they partner with a couple different banks, and then every Stripe account is just a sub account. Basically, any company that does payment processing online and is a fintech style company, they integrate with Stripe, and they actually payment process as another sub account of a Stripe account. So because these sub accounts are so quick to get approved and easy to open, they generally have low thresholds for closing and canceling accounts. Let's say I've opened 25 Stripe accounts. I've had 21 or 22 of them closed over the course of just doing business and just trying stuff out and doing different businesses. And it's just who knows when they're going to close an account. And it could be any little thing. If you have one chargeback, I had a client who I did a consult with. He was happy with the consult. It went really well, but he didn't recognize the charge on his credit card statement, and he just canceled he called his bank and said it was fraudulent. And then I emailed him and I said, "Hey buddy, what's going on?" And he's like, "Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I'll try and call back." And he called his bank. He couldn't get him to reverse it. He sent me an email, and I had this email from him saying it was an accident. I had this proof that we did the call. I had the recording of the call, and I sent proof of all that to Stripe, and they still denied my claim and processed the refund, and he paid me again after that. But those chargebacks really negatively impact your account, and when you're doing e-commerce and stuff, it's complicated. So the pros of using a payment facilitator like Stripe is, one, it's really quick to set up. And number two, there's a lot of integrations. So it integrates with almost every software integrates with Stripe. So Stripe's not bad to have. It's not bad to use, but if your business is doing well, it's bad just to have Stripe. You should have backup options. And that's why I want to talk about the next option that we have, which are payment processors that are fully underwritten by banks. Now, these are slower to open because you have to actually show them what your business is, what you're selling. You have to give them information about yourself, about your company, and you have to like explain what you're doing, and then they'll go to the bank and they'll get you approved, and then you're underwritten by the bank. It's a slower process, but you have actual contact with the bank and you have contact with a company, and there's a lot of intermediary service providers here. And I was talking to, I have two that I've talked to that can service international clients, which is, you know, kind of my audience here. Like most of the people watching this video are from outside the US. Even if you're in the US and you run a high risk business, these are also helpful. So if you're an American but you're selling, you know, CBD or anything other high risk stuff, guns and ammo they talk about, if you're doing any of that kind of stuff, you generally need a high risk payment processor. And it's just better for a scaling business, because what I was talking to the guys at my camp, and I was talking to Easy Pay Direct, or the two different like affiliates that I work with, and I'm gonna try and put links in the description, so if you want to apply you can. I'll talk about that more in a couple minutes. But really what these guys do is they get you underwritten with multiple banks. So if you have an issue with one bank and something goes wrong, they'll be able to switch another bank to your account and find another solution to keep you processing payments. So as your business grows, if you're just getting started, you can try out Stripe, and I don't think it's bad to have. But I think as your business is growing, it's just, as an entrepreneur, it's a prudent of you to go ahead and open an underwritten payment processor for your business. Because if you cannot get paid by clients, especially on credit cards, especially if you're doing e-commerce, it's very difficult to scale a business. You can't do one-to-one ACH transfers. It's not feasible for scaling. So when you're working with an underwriter directly with the merchant, the negatives are it's slower and it's a more arduous application process, but the positives are there's much better service and customer support. There's much better options if you have issues for resolving and fixing problems. And it's generally more scalable, and you also generally get better rates as well. So it's usually like Stripe charges 3.9% for most businesses. Depending on what your business is doing, you can get better rates on payment processing when you're using a direct underwriting. In the description below, there's different links for depending on what kind of business you have. I think my camp has like a jot form link where you go in. You want to tell them as much information as possible about your business. And then for Easy Pay Direct, if you decide to try that application or both of them, they have different links for different types of businesses. Whether you are a phone-based sales business, or you are a high-risk online business, or maybe a high-ticket service business, or whatever you are, they have different types of application links. And there's no harm in applying for these. And generally what you need is your company documents. You need to have a US company. You need to have a US bank account. You need to have a passport or some kind of, I mean, generally you need a passport, even for a US bank account, assuming you're a non-US person. If you're a US person, a driver's license is fine. And you need to have like a website and an actual business, an actual stuff you're selling. You need to be able to explain what you're selling, what your business is. So if you're just getting started, this is going to be one of the last steps. You need to set up your website. You need to set up the payments, the checkouts, all the links, all the websites. And these different companies have different tech solutions. You can reach out to them and see what kind of integrations they have. Once you get approved and you get underwritten, then you got to figure out how you're going to actually process the payments on the credit cards. I hope this video is helpful for you guys. If you are interested in payment processing, these are, apart from Stripe, which is a great starter option, it's not bad. It's just I have clients who are getting closed at Stripe. So apart from Stripe, as a great first option, I think as you're growing your business and scaling your business, getting direct bank underwritten payment processors for your business is a very prudent thing to do, and it might be an essential thing for you to do if Stripe has closed your account. So these are the best two solutions I've found. The only two solutions I've really found for non-residents. So these are like foreign people who have US companies. Again, a lot of my audience. So try it out, comment below, let me know how it goes. It's obviously not like as quick as Stripe, but if you follow through and you have all the right documentation, the right paperwork, the right support, it's in their best interest to get you approved, and they want you to get approved. So definitely apply. Just make sure you have all of the websites and all the stuff set up first, and let me know how it goes, guys. Hopefully this is helpful, and looking forward to your feedback. See you in the next one.